A miraculous comeback led by a 7-point play by Jordan Clarkson. Spoils an awesome return by Donovan Mitchell in a super fun night. What else would you want? It's POSTCAST coming up next. David Locke along with Ron Boone, POSTCAST on a night that just lived up to every expectation you possibly could have if you're an NBA fan tonight. This was just great. The first half was perfect, 55-55. Donovan was amazing. Basketball was great. Got late. Jazz got down by 5 with 5 to play, stayed down by most of the way, and then only the second 7-point play of the entire season, all 7 points scored by Jordan Clarkson. Hit a 3 on a flagrant, got the free throw, got the ball back in, got fouled on the 3, made all 3 free throws, and the Jazz went from down 5 to up 2 and then held on to win it late. A rare clutch win for the Jazz these days. Donovan Mitchell was exemplary. He was every bit of everything you ever remembered him to be, 46 points, maybe even more. And the crowd's reaction to Donovan was appropriate and awesome. What a fun night. All right, I'll slow down. What do you got for me, Ron Boone?
What I have for you, David, is one of those what-if moments. Because that's exactly what it was. What if Jordan Clarkson makes a 3 and gets fouled, and then there's, all those scenarios that you can run in the back of your mind, and then something like that happens. It's unreal.
Well, our offense was pretty poor up to that point. Tyson Ewing just told us the Jazz started the fourth quarter 3 of 22. Clarkson had a field goal at about the 5:20 mark and about the 3 minute, and that was it. Like, we didn't have another field goal. We had 2 field goals in the final 8 minutes, as we now know it was 3 of 22. They really, really were struggling. The offense turned out to be Jordan Clarkson hitting threes, which he was fouled in off Walker. Kessler picks. Karis LeVert defending too tightly. And the Jazz getting fortunate, but then making the free throws and doing the things they needed to do.
Yeah, the free throws became the story, I thought, in that fourth quarter. What was it? Jazz had 19 three-point shots here in the fourth quarter. What did I have here? Yeah, 16 of 19 in the fourth quarter. So the free throws that they made was definitely the story there after only having 5 field goals in the fourth.
All right, so let's go to the start of the night. The start of the night is the Donovan Mitchell return, and you could feel it early. Donovan came out for his warm-ups, crowd cheered. Justin Zanuck was waiting for him for a hug for him. Jordan Clarkson ran over. You could also tell, we learned that Donovan took a private car over here today. Like, you could tell the moment mattered. He had actually come out. Niall Campbell told us he came out early from the visiting locker room, very, very early, to kind of just look and check out the scene by himself. And while he came out, they were actually running the tribute video to make sure it was going to work, and they did the run through. And so I think he saw some of the tribute video early, which had to move him because the video was amazing. The Jazz ran the video a minute before, or right before the starting lineup. Crowd erupted, and then when he got announced, the crowd erupted. And really, there was one moment of the night where he touched the ball in a quiet arena, and you heard a few people kind of like booing him like you would the opposing player. But the real next reaction for the crowd, Ron, was when the Jazz took the lead with about 1:30 left. Other than the stunned, amazed crowd at the end of the Warriors game this year, or when Lauri Markkanen hit the shot that didn't count, that was the loudest I've heard this building by a lot and for an extended period of time. And that was this moment where a lot of fans might have been wearing 45 as a tribute to Donovan tonight, but they then were rooting again for the Jazz, and they were rooting for the front of the jersey at that point.
And there was a lot of those hanging around here in the arena. Couples with one with Jordan Clarkson and the other one with Donovan Mitchell, that type of thing. 18,000, another sellout here for the Jazz. How many did you say? 200?
18,206, I think, is our new number.
Yeah, I think I think there's a consecutive sellout.
Yeah.
How many?
200 and something.
Yeah, going here for the Jazz. But it's. I think we got just about a little bit of everything. Donovan had one spectacular first half. That was just flat out great shooting, and it wasn't like he was forcing things. It just the way he's been playing all year long. But then he only had 6 points or something in the third. Come to light there in the fourth. But down the stretch, it was definitely Jordan Clarkson.
17 for Donovan in the fourth quarter. He had 10 straight at one point. Jordan with 15. Two great friends going at it in that fourth quarter of this one. The one guy I'd give some credit to on a team that does not rebound well, Lauri Markkanen had 9 rebounds in the fourth quarter. 9 rebounds in the fourth quarter alone tonight. He had 16 boards on This guy is just doing everything for this franchise right now.
Yeah, you could tell that he was definitely needed to give Kessler some help with Kelly being out. And I'm sure that the coaching staff talked to him about you have to go and help and get some rebounds here tonight. And he was what the young kids called he was eating a lot of glass tonight.
He was. That's what the young kids say?
Yeah.
I thought you said it
glass.
when you played.
Eating glass, yeah.
He was eating glass. But I think it's a tribute to him on the different ways he helps his team. The Cleveland was not giving him the three tonight. He was just not going to get that. He tried to power into some moves. They're super long and good defensively. Jared Allen did go out of the game 6 minutes in tonight, so they were without a defender. This game probably swings as much, frankly, in the fact that Cleveland could not put a big man on the floor for 48 minutes and had to play Kevin Love at center at times tonight. And the Jazz took advantage of that. I don't know what the plus-minus final number on that will be. We'll look at it later of what they were with Love on the floor and and Mobley off the floor. But the Jazz felt like the Jazz took advantage of that a good deal tonight. Going to the basket, that injury really mattering. The Jazz, though, shorthanded as well, obviously with 4 guys out of the lineup, or 3 guys out of the lineup that they would have used. Few other notes on this one. I don't know. What else you got, Ron? I'm just like geeked. That was so fun.
I was looking at the rebound. I had some rebounds circled here between the Markkanen and Kessler. Since you were just talking about, that's 27 rebounds between those two. You mentioned he had 16. Only 21 assists, and largely because of how poorly both teams shot the basketball for the most part. But he find ways to win, and tonight it was at the free throw line, and that was it.
A few notes in the chat room are kind of fun. Mitchell was fully capable of winning this game, but LeVert prevented him from doing so. God bless Chris LeVert, or Karis LeVert, excuse me.
What with the fouls, right?
Yes, Lacey points out 27 second chance points is a big deal, and that she loves your hat. Lee Christensen says, let's be honest here for a second. We all took Donovan for granted. I don't know if we did, but he's pretty great. Andy says, JC's our closer, even though Lowry is our best player. With Lowry take the spot as the year goes on? It's a really good question. These are the skills that Lowry has to develop. It's hard for a 7-footer to put the ball on the deck and make a play. You have to get so low to be able to get by somebody in the NBA, and if you're 7 feet tall, it's hard to do. Even watch Durant. Durant's usually just crossing over into a step-back jumper that he's so tall he can get off. But if you're 7 feet and you try to get by someone, you've got to get down so far, and Lowry's working on it. But we've seen it on the few times where they've inbounded Lowry late and he tries to put on the deck, it gets knocked away, things of that sort. So you're probably right. JC or some guard has to be your closer.
Yeah, Markkanen he's got the skills. But in someone like that, you got to put him in a short area, 15 feet or in, where he can put the ball on the floor a couple of times and then finish. But as far as if it's not a straight line drive or a hard drive, then in other words, he doesn't change directions, stop and change directions and do things like that. Clarkson, on the other hand, is probably going to get fouled 2-1 before Markkanen, gets fouled, putting the ball on the floor, going to the hole. But so I would agree with that Clarkson just might be the closer, if you want to, but I tell you just can't take away the shooting of right. Lowry.
I think the thing that will be interesting is that now Lowry has an off season to work on these things, right? Like he now has the opportunity to do this, which he's really never had in his career, and that's what we're going to see. We're going to see Walker Kessler take the off season to work on things. We're going to see, and Walker Kessler. I thought Walker Kessler was really good and impacted the game a lot tonight. 30 minutes, and I thought he was really good tonight.
Yeah, I know it's early, but I've always been fascinated with when they clean the locker room cleanouts and the things that they give and the meetings that they have individually with players on what they want you to work on over the summer, so you can be ready for the next year. And that's where you see players where they make that jump if they work on those things to get better.
Jazz win it tonight by the final score of 116-114. I apologize. I'm sure we've forgotten numerous things in this game, but the 7-point play is really the play that just changed the entire game. Jazz are down 5. Clarkson makes the 3. He's fouled. It's a flagrant foul. He gets the free throw. The Jazz get the ball. He gets fouled again on a 3-point attempt. They challenge it. They take about 10 seconds on the challenge. He makes all 3 free throws, and the Jazz go from down 5 to up 2. And then next time down, I think Donovan misses. Jazz rebound, and the game swings the Jazz way at that point. So that's really the story of the night On the court, off the court, the story of the night is the crowd's reaction to Donovan, and the other story on the court was that Donovan was amazing. That wraps us up your 2 stars tonight, Ron Boone.
I think it's an easy choice tonight with Clarkson and Marketing. I don't know if we can go another direction on any of those.
I don't think you probably can. No, I think that one's pretty simple.
Yeah.
Are we allowed to give a special 3rd star to Donovan Mitchell tonight?
Why not?
3rd star goes
Absolutely.
out to Donovan Mitchell. He was fabulous. It was fun to watch him. Good to see him. Jazz win it tonight by the final score of 116-114, a clutch win behind